In this video, we're going to cover the TxTDash Reseller Center, creating new locations. Now, what type of locations could use business two-way texting? Well, the fact of the matter, in this day and age, if any business is not using two-way text, they are a prospect for this product. You will not find a single business that cannot benefit from using texting. Texting has become a preferred method of communication, especially with millennials, and it's even a growing segment amongst the baby boomers. So always keep that in mind when you're selling the service, is the value of communicating with customers via text message. And this has nothing to do with SMS marketing. This is actually communication with customers. So if a customer has a question about a product or service, or for example, like an apartment complex, if they need to have some assistance with maintenance or need to make payment arrangements, all that stuff can be covered with texting as opposed to having their phone lines lit up all day at the office. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and create our first location. You're gonna come over here to My Locations. And like, as I said previously, you can do this from any device, whether it be a mobile or desktop. You're probably gonna have more speed in creating locations with a desktop, but in the training center, if you ever need to collect the data required to fill out the information needed for a new location inside the training center, you will find at the very bottom here, you'll find the text chat account setup sheet. And this can be customized as it's in Word format. So in My Locations, you're going to click on New Location. So if you do anything wrong on this page, the system will let you know. So always look to the very top for any information that might be incomplete. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get a brand logo. So this is going to be at the top of their chat widget if they choose to use it. So what you're going to do is first grab their logo. You can usually find logos online. So if I'm going to grab this logo, I'm going to click Save Image As, and then add it to my desktop here, click on Save. And then generally you usually want to have a transparent PNG, but in this case, just for the sake of speed, I'm going to grab this JPEG, which probably has a white background. You're going to click on Upload. You're going to search your computer for that logo, select it, open, and now that logo is going to be assigned to that particular client. So we're going to do the company name here, and we're going to do, let's call this company Josh Smith Ford. Generally what we do is for the company first name and company name, we can spread this out amongst two lines. So I'm going to do Josh Smith Ford. Then I'm going to enter the address of the location. Anything in red is required here. So I've entered the address in here. And then next I want to choose the time zone. So I'm going to choose Eastern. Next, I want to select a mobile phone number, which is going to be the main agent or admin who logs in to the main system. So this has to be a unique mobile number. So let's just use the one that I have set up from my Google Voice. Next, we have notify phone number. So we can have an admin as a spy, which will get notified of every single chat that comes in, every single reply will be automatically forwarded to a phone. If you want to have an overseer, as we call it, that oversees all the conversations are what they're supposed to be, as opposed to employees not doing their job correctly, you can enter all their mobile phone numbers here and then separate them with commas, and that'll send that particular notification to every single one of those numbers. So you're going to put the phone numbers in this format. You're going to do phone number, vertical bar, phone number, vertical bar, phone number, and that's how you can use multiple phone numbers. If you're using just one, then you're just going to do it just like that. If you happen to be signing up a dealership, we have the ability to send XML data of a particular lead to their CRM. If you're signing up a dealership, ask them for their ADF email. Generally, it'll be like leads.joshsmithford.com. Our system sends an XML file, and that lead is imported into their lead system to be worked. So that is for dealerships only. It's not required. Anything that does not have a red star is not required. Next, our chat log notifications. If you want to get a chat log of every single conversation, this is normally used for the main admins to monitor all the chats via email, versus over here it's via text. Put in the email address, and you can separate each email address with a comma. I can get daily, weekly, and monthly chat reports that are emailed to a specific admin or agent in the system. You can enter their email addresses here just like you have it here, and it'll send reports to those emails. Next, this is the lead source. Let's say if you're signing up this dealership and they originated from, let's say, Google AdWords, just do like a simple thing like GA that represents like Google AdWords to represent the source. And for affiliate name, this could be a person or company or initials of who sent the reseller account. This even could be a salesman in your company. So if the salesman referred it, it could have been the salesman using Google AdWords, and then put the initials of the salesman, EH for Ed Hopkins. Next, we want to put the website where the business's domain lays. So we're going to do, like in this case, joshsmithford.com. And then next are the options. So by default, everything is always going to enable text chat because that is required for two-way text chat. Enabling departments allows specific agents to be placed into certain chat departments. So when a chat conversation is started or maybe it's transferred, it can be transferred to another department. So like to enable departments, click on this here. Next is our browser extension. I'll get into this when we get into the training about the main admin. Essentially what this is, when a chat is, when a customer replies to a conversation, it'll be notified inside Google Chrome. No matter what page this agent could be on Google Chrome, it'll instantly notify them and be an intrusive pop-up that says you have a chat reply. There'll be a little icon. They click the icon, and then they can chat with the customer. So to enable that, to have access to our browser extension, just check that off. Next is PC chat. Essentially, this is for Windows computers. And this works the same way as the Chrome extension, only it's for Windows. And if you can imagine, like this is my window here on my Windows PC. Anytime I chat conversations, a bubble will appear at the very bottom to start the conversation, to reply. They click on that little bubble, and it opens up the chat for communication. So it's instant response notifications. To enable this feature, just check it off. Next is a feature that is, I would say, can be used. It's not necessary, but if you want to make sure rock solid that every single conversation is an opted-in customer, you can require that customer to reply yes before they start texting, because that is then permissionable for them to use our system to communicate with our agents. Now, in some cases, there might be advertising for the business where they say call, if you're using a landline, call or text 555-6666 for information about our specific product. Well, then they can just text to the phone number, hey, I have a question about your XX product. How much is it? In that case, it would not invoke a yes to permission for conversations. So if you want to enable it, just click it here. I'm going to leave it unchecked. Next is the white label dashboard. The upload is obviously required. This is in my account. You're going to have your logo. So we're going to white label that and put that in there. Next is the advanced dashboard calling. This enables calling customers in the advanced dashboard. So if you want to have the ability for an agent to call a customer from our dashboard that is normally used for two-way text, then you can enable this. I'm going to go ahead and check this on. So a little bit of correction here. We're not going to use the logo from our My Account for white labeling. It does have to be a specific size, 500 by 370. So what I'll do is I'll just come over here and I will do a 500 by 370. Click on OK. Now I can start bringing over from my editor my images. So I brought in the logo here. Next thing I can do, I can just add chat system. And let's make this so it's centered. And then I'll just increase the font size. So this is going to be your white label logo for the chat system. And we're going to go ahead and just do that. I'll export it, save it as white label. Export. Obviously, you're going to use a different kind of image editor. I'm using Fireworks. It's an old image editor. But now when I take this image now, I want to upload it. And I think it's right here, so I'm going to open it. Now that's uploaded. Next, we want to select the username and password for the dealership, in this case, because we're setting up a dealership, to actually be able to log in as the admin. So what we're going to do is we're going to put their exact email address where they're going to get the information sent to their email. So we're going to put in the email here. So I just use support@iRebuilder.com. And then next, I'm going to do the password they're going to use to log in. In this case, I'm just going to use welcome123, welcome123. Then I'm now going to save and edit the account profile. Let's see here. It's asking me, maybe I gotta put a 1 in front of here. So now my profile was saved for this particular location. Always make sure that you start it with a 1 when you're putting in the phone number. In that case, right here. Next, we want to make sure we have a Textria number assigned to the store now. So, if you remember right, we initially set up our Textria account, added our SID and token. Now we can choose an option here. Use an existing Textria number I own. It'll load it, and you can see where they're currently parked. So I'm going to select this one here. And it says selected number is already being used in some other system. On save, it'll rewrite the SMS URL to TxTDash. So what I want to do is I'm going to assign that number because I want to move it over here. Now it's now connected. Now, anytime I can come in here and I can buy the number, local number, or toll-free number from inside the system. Because I had the number already inside Textria, I went ahead and selected it. So now that is the number that is assigned to my installation. Now, when you're choosing numbers, if you did happen to acquire a SMS landline number from the location and you got permission, that will appear in your list of existing Textria numbers that I own. So now that everything is set up here, let's see, we're going to refresh this and we get no errors. So we're good to go. The location is now set up. So any locations you set up will appear in your list of locations. Now let's say if you had several hundred locations in here, to search and find one specifically, you just type in the word Josh, for example, right here, and it would automatically search and filter it down to the stores that contain the word Josh. At any time you come in here and edit locations, click on Edit Location, and any edits that need to be done can be done right away and saved, and those changes will go live instantaneously. To send an email to send login to the store, is because this is a new setup, just click on Send Login. It'll rotate and then it'll say Sent, and now I'm going to show you what that email looks like. And this is what the location will get, the admin that you set up. It's going to be from TxTDash as the generic. Hello, Josh Smith 4. Welcome to your TxTDash Chat Manager dashboard powered by Chemic LLC. This is your company set up in your profile. If you remember, they get login information, and then your name, your logo, and then your information will be down here for the customer if they need to contact you. So everything is pre-made and ready to go by clicking on that Send Login button. To log in as a location, you just click on this button here. And you'll see here your logo will be at the very top of the TxTDash. Keep in mind, this is a generic domain, so your logo is going to be at the very top, and then the customer's logo is going to be right here. That's why we recommended using a transparent PNG so that background can bleed through. But this is the main dashboard that they would use to log in. So I'm going to go back. Anytime you can click on Back to Reseller, and it'll take you back to this dashboard right here. That button only appears if you're a reseller clicking in Login As. So we've covered this and this. If you ever need to see usage stats, you just click on this button here, And this will show you all the stats, incoming and outgoing. To sort them by date, you simply just choose a date in between and then click on apply, and that graph will rebuild. So you know the exact usage that you're using for this particular location. Now, as an example, let's say on the creation, we use the sub-account SID and token. Well, not only can we track the exact usage in Textria because it's assigned to a sub-account, but we can also track it exactly the same right here. If you're all just putting all the numbers inside of the admin account, all the numbers will appear here. So you know the exact usage by account just based on this graph right here. So anytime you need to grab that, just click on copy and send that image over to a customer so they know exactly what their usage are. If you're charging them for extra credits, it's up to you. The next video, we're going to get into managing agents that are essentially additional support agents for the two-way text chat system.